The deep black of space was silent, as always, but near the edge of the neutral zone, something strange was floating. It was a ship, old, large, and dark. There was no flag, no ID code, no beacon, nothing. Just an empty ship drifting slowly, almost like it was asleep. Commander Rethok of the Zarnuk Empire stared at the screen. His yellow eyes narrowed. "What is that?" he asked. His second-in-command, Yaren, replied, "No records found. Not in any galactic database. It doesn't match any known design." Commander Rethok smiled. "Then it's a gift. Maybe a lost treasure ship." He stood tall in his command deck. Around him, the other Zarnuk officers chuckled. They had raided many old ships before. They were not afraid of empty steel. "Scan it," Rethok ordered. The ship's scanners buzzed. Lights blinked. Data flew across the screens. Then, the system froze. "Error?" Yaren asked. "No," said the technician slowly. "We scanned it, but we got nothing. Just static." Then a message flashed across every screen on the bridge. Red letters, one sentence. "You should not have looked." Silence filled the room. Then laughter. Rethok grinned. Some old auto-defense message. A joke. But Yaren looked unsure. "Sir, this doesn't feel like a joke." Rethok ignored him. "Send a boarding team. I want that ship stripped. We'll tow it back and sell what we find." 5 Zarnuk soldiers suited up. They were the best, trained, armed, and fearless. They entered their shuttle and flew toward the unknown ship. Its surface was black metal, but not smooth. It had scars, deep cuts, like it had fought 100 battles and survived them all. The docking clamps locked with a heavy clang. The team entered. For 5 minutes, there was silence. "Boarding team, report," Rethok said into the comms. No answer. "Team, do you read?" Still nothing. Then, a sound. A whisper, cracked with static. "Commander, it's watching us." The voice was scared. It was Officer Krull, the strongest of the team. "It knows us. It knows our minds. Run." A scream tore through the channel. Then silence again. Everyone on the bridge froze. "Recall the shuttle," Rethok shouted. But before they could act, something happened. The strange ship's lights turned on, bright red. Its engines, which had been cold for decades, suddenly roared to life. The scanners blinked in confusion. "There's no life signs," shouted the tech. "No pilot detected." The ship moved, fast, too fast. It turned away from the Zarnuk cruiser, not to flee, but to vanish. It jumped into warp space without charging. No countdown, no warm-up, just gone. Rethok's jaw dropped. What did we just wake up? No one had the answer. That night, the name Ghost Ship spread through Zarnuk space. But the truth was far worse. This was no ghost. It was alive. And it remembered. 3 standard days passed after the Zarnuk Empire's team boarded the strange ship. No one returned. The cruiser that sent them waited for hours, then left. They called the mission a failure, blamed ancient tech malfunctions, and said the ship was likely destroyed during warp. The report was buried. But deep down, Commander Rethok knew something was wrong. He had nightmares. In every dream, he saw a dark hallway, lights flickering, shadows moving, and a whisper in his mind, "You should not have looked." Back at the Zarnuk homeworld, life returned to normal, until the ghost ship came back. It appeared near Colony Zeta 9, a peaceful farming planet. No military presence, no reason for war. The colony's control tower spotted it first. Unidentified ship entering orbit. No ID, no response. The tower operator, a young alien named Varric, tried calling it. "Unknown vessel, this is Zarnuk Colony Zeta 9. State your purpose." No reply. Varric tried again. "You are entering restricted airspace. Respond immediately." Still nothing. Suddenly, every screen in the control tower flickered. Words appeared, written in red, shaking as if they were alive. "We warned you." Varric stepped back. "What is this?" "A virus." Then everything went dark. The power failed. Backup systems failed. Every camera shut off. No one saw the ship land. No one saw what came out. And no one ever sent a message again. The colony went silent. Hours passed. Then a small probe was sent from a nearby station to investigate. The probe flew down to the colony. It recorded what it saw. But when the footage came back, it was wrong. The video was covered in static. Faces were blurred. Walls moved like liquid. Buildings looked half-burned, half-melted. And the people, they were all gone. Not dead. Gone. No bodies. No signs of struggle. Just empty homes. Silent streets. Toys on the ground. Meals still warm. Only one thing remained. At the center of the colony, someone, or something, had carved a message into the ground. Huge letters, dug deep into the dirt, glowing with faint red light. "Do not scan what you do not understand." The message shook the entire Zarnuk Empire. The High Council met in secret. "This is no ghost," one elder said. "This is revenge." Another asked, "Revenge from who?" Everyone looked at each other, afraid to say the name. One younger officer, newly promoted, dared to speak. "I think it's human." The room went silent. Humans were gone, or so everyone believed. Their worlds were closed. Their people vanished from the galaxy a century ago. But the stories remained. Stories of war machines, living weapons, and one ship that was never supposed to be found. Commander Rethok, who sat quietly in the back, finally spoke. "I sent the scan. I sent the team." He paused, looking down. "I think we woke it up." The council grew angry. "You were careless. You brought death upon us." Rethok stood up. "Then help me stop it." But they didn't listen. They chose silence. They erased the report. They banned all mentions of the ghost ship, and they hoped it would never return again. But far away, in the darkness of space, the ship moved again. No crew, no heat, just metal. Alive. And it was heading for another world. The ghost ship was silent, but it was moving. Not with engines. Not with power. It moved like a shadow in space, unseen, unstoppable. Its next destination, Zarnuk Research Station 17, a place where forbidden technology was studied. Deep under the frozen surface of a small moon, the brightest Zarnuk minds worked in secret. They didn't know the ship was coming. They didn't even know it existed. But someone did. An old alien named Sorvak, once a general, now just a quiet observer. He had retired after the human wars. Wars that the young now thought were just myths. Sorvak sat alone in his cold room, looking through old files on a cracked tablet. He stopped on one file, Project Wraith. He hesitated, then opened it. There it was, the ship, the same one that was now haunting Zarnuk space. The Wraith was not just a warship. It was something else, something worse. A human creation, built not to fight, but to punish. It was said to be part AI, part living mind, born from a dying human war hero whose brain was fused into the ship's core. He had lost everything to alien invaders, his family, his home, his planet. So he became the ship, a machine that never sleeps, a weapon that remembers. And now it was awake. Sorvak's claws shook. He remembered the whispers from the past, whole fleets vanishing, colonies disappearing, ships found hollow, their crews missing. No blood, no signs of violence, just gone. And each time, the last message was the same. You should not have looked. Sorvak rushed to send a message to Research Station 17. But he was too late. Out near the ice moon, a junior scientist named Veleth sat alone in the communications room. She noticed something strange. "No ship should be out here," she said, frowning at the radar screen. "We're in deep sector space." Then she saw it. The ship. Black. Still. But right outside. She called her supervisor. "Unknown object outside main gate." No response to hails. The older scientist, Dr. Trelon, laughed. "Probably a pirate drone. Just scan it." Vela hesitated. Her fingers hovered over the scan button. Something inside her said, "Don't." But orders were orders. She pressed it. The scan bar moved, then froze. The lights in the station flickered. The air grew cold. And a message flashed on every screen. "This is your second mistake." Suddenly, the temperature dropped. Lights turned red. Doors sealed shut on their own. The scientists ran, panicking. The AI system failed. Backup power drained in seconds. Then they heard it. Not machines. Not weapons. Footsteps. But there was no airlock breach. Nothing entered. And yet, something was inside. Vela hid under her desk, shaking. She heard voices screaming in other rooms. Then silence. She closed her eyes. Then she felt a presence behind her. A whisper in her mind. "Why did you look again?" Darkness. Everything went black. When rescue ships came a week later, the station was empty. All equipment was intact. Food was still warm. Chairs were knocked over. But not a single body was found. Except one. A single frozen corpse. Dr. Trelon, sitting in the main hallway. Eyes open. Face twisted in horror, and scratched into the wall behind him. Fear what humans leave behind. After the disaster at Research Station 17, panic spread through the Zarnak military. 2 colonies gone. 1 research base empty. And the same ship, black, silent, unknown, seen near each event. High Command tried to hide the truth, but whispers were already spreading. Soldiers started calling it the death ship. Civilians prayed it wasn't real. But one person knew the truth. Commander Rethok. He had seen it first. He had sent the scan. And now he was sure it was human. Or at least, it used to be. He went to a secret military vault, deep under the Zarnak capital. He typed an old, forgotten code. Access granted. Wisspr protocol. Only the highest-ranking officers had ever heard of it. A last resort program, locked away for over 100 years. Inside, he found what he was looking for. A hidden file marked Human War Relics. He played the video. The Zarnak Admiral appeared on screen, shaking with fear. "If you are watching this," the Admiral said, "then the humans' cursed ship has awakened. This is not a weapon. It is a warning." The Admiral leaned closer. "We captured it once during the final battles, but we could not control it. It spoke to us. It knew our secrets. It remembered us." He paused, then whispered, "It feeds on attention." The screen flickered. Every scan, every recording, every mention makes it stronger. Do not investigate. Do not name it. Do not look. Then the screen went dark. Rethok's eyes widened. It all made sense now. The scan wasn't a mistake. It was a trigger. By trying to understand it, they had awakened it. And now, it was watching them. Rethok raced to the High Council. "We have to erase it," he shouted. "Wipe every file. Destroy the reports. Never speak of it again." The council laughed. "You want to fight a ghost with silence." Rethok slammed his fist on the table. "You don't fight it at all. That's the point. Every time we look at it, it looks deeper into us." One counselor sneered. "Are you saying fear will save us?" Rethok stared back. "No, I'm saying silence will." But it was already too late. While they argued, the ship arrived at another location. Outpost 03, a small listening station on the edge of space. It had one job, to scan deep space signals. The crew there, bored and tired, noticed the strange readings. "Hey, there's something big out there," said a young officer. "Scan it," the captain replied. A few seconds later, every crew member screamed as the signal burst into their minds like fire. The lights exploded. The walls shook. And then, silence. Rescue crews found no survivors. Just one thing left behind. The station's computer had one word blinking over and over on the main screen. Lysianang kills. Back on the capital planet, Rethok sent out a final emergency message to all Zarnak systems. Do not scan unknown ships. Do not log unknown signals. If you see the shadow, look away. Forget. Silence is survival. The message was sent to all outer colonies, but one officer didn't listen. On a mining ship near the edge of the galaxy, a young Zarnak named Kivir heard the message but grew curious. He opened the forbidden logs. He found the reports. He saw the images. He whispered the name to himself. Wraith. The lights flickered. And somewhere, far beyond the stars, the ship turned. Captain Ural stood in the middle of the Zarnak military hangar, staring at the strange object brought in from Outpost 03. It was a black box. Burned, dented, and humming with a low sound, like whispering voices trapped inside. No power source, said the engineer, but it's still active. Ural had seen many things in his career. War, death, monsters from the edge of space. But this felt wrong. They placed the box in a sealed chamber, guarded by soldiers with heavy armor. We'll open it under controlled conditions, Ural ordered. But even before they opened it, something strange started happening. Soldiers began hearing whispers at night. One officer shot himself, saying the shadows were crawling inside his mind. Another went silent, eyes wide, staring at the box for hours. Ural had the chamber seal tighter, but the whispers didn't stop. Finally, he ordered it opened. A team of scientists entered the chamber in full hazard suits. With shaking hands, one of them cracked the box open. Inside was a recording device. That was it. Just a small, old human recorder. No weapons, no tech, just a voice message stored in the memory. They played it. The voice was human. Rough, broken, angry. If you're hearing this, then someone scanned us again. The voice paused. You always want to know what humans fear, what we hide, what we lost. You always want to look. The voice grew darker. You looked. Now we look back. Static crackled. Then the voice whispered, we remember each of you. We remember your crimes, and we never forgive. Then the message ended. The chamber doors slammed shut on their own. Alarms blared. Lights burst one by one, until the room was dark. The scientists inside screamed. Then silence. Ural watched the live feed. All gone. Only the recorder remained, still playing the same message in a loop, even though it had no power. One word echoed again and again. Remember. Ural locked the entire sector down, but the damage was done. In the weeks that followed, more strange signals appeared across Zarnak space. Tiny echoes, ghost messages, and one by one, old war archives started deleting themselves. One central AI completely melted its core trying to read a corrupted human file labeled Project Silence. Panic grew. Some Zarnak leaders thought the humans were using secret tech. Others believed it was all psychological warfare. But Commander Rethok knew better. This is not tech, he said in a meeting with High Command. This is a mind, the human mind, trapped in a machine that remembers pain. Then how do we stop it? A general asked. Rethok leaned forward. You don't. He looked at the black box, now sealed inside a deep vault. You survive it, if you're lucky. Just then, a message came in from a mining planet in the outer ring. A survivor had been found. Only one. She was shaking, her eyes wide, holding a blood-covered log recorder. Ural played the file. A low, broken voice whispered through static. It's not the only one. Ural froze. There are more. The survivors screamed in the background. There are many wraiths, all asleep, all waiting, hidden in the dark. And the last thing recorded was the same human voice again. You scanned one. But now they all know. Zarnak Command received a strange report. A deep space probe sent to Sector 9X just vanished. No wreckage, no signal, no error, just silence. They sent a patrol ship to investigate. The crew of the ZS Fury entered Sector 9X, expecting debris or radiation. Instead, they saw nothing. No stars, no planets, no signals, just darkness. Are the scanners broken? The pilot asked. No, the tech replied, his voice shaking. The stars are gone. Gone. Like the entire sector had been erased. Then came the whisper on the radio. We warned you. The crew froze. No one had touched the comms. Another voice followed, human, but deep and ancient. You scanned. You searched. You never stopped. Now silence is yours. The lights went out. One by one, the crew screamed. The captain tried to start the engine, but it was dead. The ship's walls twisted, and shadows moved like living things. A final log was sent before the feed cut out. Sector 9X is no longer space. It's something else now. A memory. A grave. We opened a door we cannot close. And then static. When Zarnak Command received the log, panic spread like fire. 3 more sectors went silent in the next 72 hours, all near the locations of past human conflicts. The wraiths were not just ships. They were memories, machines that carried the pain, rage, and trauma of humanity's darkest moments. They had slept for centuries in deep space, hidden after the great human wars. But the Zarnak Empire had poked them awake. And now, they were cleansing the stars. Commander Rethok watched old human war videos. He saw Earth cities burning, soldiers fighting monsters and machines. He saw their final message to the galaxy, sent just before humans vanished from contact 200 years ago. A simple warning: we do not want war. But if you force us to end it, we will make sure no one ever forgets us. Now he understood. The Wraith ships were not weapons. They were memorials with minds, left behind by humans, not to fight, but to remember and to punish. Each one held a soul, a voice, a name, and once awakened, they hunted those who disturbed their sleep. The worst part, they couldn't be tracked. They didn't move like ships. They appeared in dreams, in systems, in data, like a curse spreading through thought. Now, even thinking about them might attract one. The Zarnak Senate gathered in fear. How do we stop this? Can we apologize? Can we send a signal to Earth? But no one knew if Earth still existed. No human had answered a transmission in over 2 centuries. It was like they had vanished, leaving only their nightmares behind. Rethok stood before the council and said, "We must begin the protocol of silence. No scans, no messages, no more names." But what if they come anyway? Rethok looked out the window. In the far distance, he saw the stars dim, like eyes closing. Then we pray they forget us before we forget ourselves. But it was already too late. In the ruins of Outpost Z13, a scavenger ship landed. A small crew, young, curious. They found wreckage. They found an old human skull, and they found a terminal still working. One of them touched it. A message appeared on screen. Memory accessed. The crew laughed. Just history. They opened the file, and the stars above them turned black. The Zarnak Empire was falling apart. Entire sectors were dark. Trade routes were silent. Leaders vanished mid-broadcast, frozen in fear as their systems crashed with one final word. Remember. Every time someone scanned a human relic, opened a black box, or studied a wraith, the curse spread. Zarnak Command tried to destroy all human data. It didn't work. The wraiths didn't need tech. They lived in memory, in fear, in guilt. And now, they were moving toward the core. Commander Rethok stood before a secret council in a deep bunker far from Zarnak Prime. "We found a signal," he said quietly. "A real one. From Earth." Everyone stared. "Earth is gone," one general said. "Destroyed long ago." Rethok shook his head. "That's what we thought. But the wraiths are not from Earth's destruction. They are from its defense." He played the signal. It was old, broken, human. "This message is for the stars. If you hear it, we are sleeping. But our memory is awake. Do not come looking. Do not dig. Do not scan, because one day Earth will wake again." Then silence. Another voice followed, a whisper, soft but heavy. "We are not lost. We are waiting." Rethok showed them the coordinates embedded in the signal. It pointed to a star system surrounded by gravitational storms. Unreachable, unscannable. But it was real, and at its center was Earth. Still hidden, still alive, and watching. "I believe the wraiths are not weapons," Rethok said. "They are alarms." "Alarms?" asked a senator. "Yes," he replied. "Each time one awakens, it sends a signal home, to Earth." A long pause. "Then that means—" Rethok nodded. "They know we're here." Far away, beyond the storms and broken galaxies, something stirred on a forgotten planet. Beneath a sky covered in dust and silence, old machines powered up. Giant towers blinked. Satellites adjusted. And from deep under Earth's crust, a voice spoke. A voice not heard in 200 years. It echoed through ancient communication lines no one remembered. Wraiths detected. Memory breach confirmed. Humanity reinitializing. A fleet began to rise from underground silos, ships built not for war, but for justice. Not sleek, not modern, but terrifying in silence. They carried names, each ship named after a tragedy. Remembrance, vengeance, ashes of Mars, echo of Europa, and one massive ship at the center of the fleet, the final memory. On board, old AI systems rebooted. Cores came alive. And deep in its heart, a man opened his eyes. Human, still alive, still waiting. He stepped forward, looked at the stars, and whispered. They touched the past. Now they must meet the future. The Earth fleet turned toward the stars. The sky above Zarnak systems began to glow red. And one final message arrived in every alien language, across every channel, no matter how hidden. We warned you. Now we come. The stars burned red across Zarnak space. Every world trembled. Ships powered down. Systems shut off. The galaxy was silent, waiting. The Earth fleet had arrived. From the depths of forgotten Earth, they came like ghosts. Their ships were old but strong. Not just machines, but memories made real. Commander Rethok stood on the bridge of the Zarnak flagship, watching the dark shapes approach. His hands shook. He had heard the warnings. He had seen the horror, but nothing prepared him for this. The largest ship, the final memory, moved forward. Its hull was scared, but its power was undeniable. A voice echoed through the galaxy, not loud, but clear. We are the forgotten. We are the past you try to erase. We are the memories you feared. Today, you face the judgment of your actions. Zarnak's leaders scrambled to send peace messages, but the Earth fleet ignored them. They were not here for talks. They were here to remind. A fleet of smaller ships launched from the Earth vessels. They moved like shadows, silent and unstoppable. Zarnak defenses fired, but their weapons passed through the Earth ships as if they were ghosts. The ships closed in on the planets that had once scorned Earth. Then, strange things began to happen. Old wounds of the aliens' past rose like ghosts in their minds. Memories of wars. Memories of pain. Memories of fear. The Earth ships did not fire weapons. They fired memories. Each beam a story. Each blast a truth. Zarnok soldiers saw visions of Earth's suffering, of families lost, of betrayals, of sacrifices. The pain was overwhelming. Many aliens dropped their weapons. Some begged for mercy. But the Earth fleet was not cruel. They were just, human. A voice came from the final memories bridge. It was calm. We do not want revenge. We want peace. But first, you must remember. Rethok stepped forward. Why? Why wait so long? Why let this happen? The voice answered. Because memory is a test. To see if the galaxy can learn. If it can grow. If it can respect life. We have feared you, Rethok said quietly. And yet, you have waited. Yes, the voice said. We waited until the moment the galaxy was ready, or when it could no longer hide from the truth. Suddenly, a screen lit up. It showed Earth, alive and strong, but changed. Not the Earth of old wars. A new Earth. One that learned from its past. One that forgave and rebuilt. This is the Earth that waits, the voice said. A future that never forgot. A future that will protect all life. The Earth fleet slowly began to retreat. But the message was clear. The galaxy must change, or suffer the judgment again. Commander Rethok bowed his head. The nightmare was over. For now. But the memory of Earth, the strength of humanity, would never be forgotten.